Welcome, ladies and gentlemen. I hope you're all doing well. And today, my friends, we're back with a Skaven vs. Bretonnia showdown. Going to be getting in there with Throt, taking it back a couple months. I feel like the old fat rat hasn't gotten too much love ever since he did get his nerf, but I still think he's very fun and cool to use. So this time we are going to be going for a massive Skaven rush. Now, for anybody who's really looking for a competitive build against Bretonnia, this one does have some rat teeth for sure, but the more competitive way, in my opinion, is to play with the mortars and the warp lightning cannons and play a very defensive game. I think that really suits Skaven in the matchup. However, you can really surprise your opponents by doing builds like this. So front line's going to be clan rats, so very high quality by Skaven standards. We'll lose to battle pilgrims, but should be able to hold their own. We even have a doom wheel, so we're coming in for some doom wheel action. These things kind of really fell off the map, but I feel like they're fun. They can get in there and cause some problems. A whole contingent of wolf rats, ogres. We do have a goon squad, so Packmaster, as well as Throt the Unclean, and a Warlock Engineer, who does have Death Frenzy and the Flensing Ruin. So more so like a rush. We're not bringing Skaven summons, we're just going all in, and we're going to be trying to force a blob fight and hopefully win it. But that should be interesting, because Falcon's looking to do the same thing. He's got Raponce, he's got Henry, he's got a Life Caster, and a bunch of, decent quality cavalry. Knights of the Realm trade pretty well with ogres, but I'm hoping the buffering of my Skaven slaves in different units will be able to cause some problems. So, yeah, let's see how this blob fight goes. The good old rat pack. And here the Skaven slave spear is going to be moving in, being sacrificed to the Horned Rat, while the clan rats prepare to descend on the front lines. And we will be countercharging here. So here they come, the Packmaster and Throt getting ready to party, while the Skaven slaves are still eager. And we do countercharge very heavily with a bunch of wolf rats. And from there, I will be using some witchcraft via the Death Frenzy. So my entire army, oh no, we actually use Flensing Rune. So Flensing Rune is the AoE spell. So I wanted to try that out. The idea is that it lowers the armor down to the knights, and then the wolf rats and like cheap spears can trade a little bit more efficiently. In the front line, ogres and whatnot, just fighting battle pilgrims, the doom wheel able to roll through the peasant mobs, ideally getting into the backfield and causing problems. So let's see how this battle goes. The pit fight is underway. We'll go ahead and zoom in and get a nice cinematic, but Falcon with a very nice response. He does use the Dwellers Below, which is going to be tanking a lot of my units and a lot of my chaff, leaving my big fat rat to kind of fight on his own here. Now, Rapon's taking a bit of work, so is Henry. So honestly, the blob fight going pretty good. We've gotten a lot of damage against Henry. We did also use the Rat Ogre summon that Throt does have, and it worked out okay. Granted, a lot of my wolf rats got destroyed there. They charged in and got caught by the Dwellers Below, and now Bretonnia is piling in even more cavalry, which is a little bit scary. In the backfield, though, it's going very well. We have clan rats as well as just multiple chaff units doing a lot of disruption, while the doom wheel is just rolling dirty through the peasant archers, and then wolf rats do come from the other side. And the Dark Lord Falcon will be responding with his Knights of the Realm, but not before we do some good damage here against the peasant bowmen. But really, the epicenter of combat is going to be this big blob fight. Like I said, we have Raponce, we have Throt the Unclean. Unfortunately, though, Throt kind of gets beat up there. I think he overextended a tiny bit with an attack animation into the Knights of the Realm, and then just took a bunch of anti-large. Raponce got a little bit of damage, so did Henry, but, after my initial burst, I wasn't quite able to get the damage I was looking for. And now we do have the Knights that probably will be chasing the Fat Rat off the battlefield. However, he does have the Skaven trait that gives him 105 speed, so he should be able to create some separation with him, come back, and of course he does have the ability to heal. So Wolf Rattos getting routed down, but some of them will come back here, continue to harass and chase those archers, as Falcon is going to be rerouting his cavalry to deal with the Doom Wheel, which is certainly being quite disruptive here in the backfield. But, those Knights of the Realm trying their best. But yeah, the Knights aren't going to be super efficient at killing a Doom Wheel. It does have 100 armor, and Knights of the Realm really don't have the best armor piercing. And another nice catch is the Wolf Rats feast on the archers, and next the Field Trebuchet will be following shortly after. Here we got the Packmaster and the Warlock Engineer fighting the character squad fight. However, Falcon does have better supporting elements. His Knights are a little bit healthier pushing in. I mean, they're not healthy by any stretch of the imagination, but healthier than what I'm working with. We do pull back the Packmaster. We're behind on the bounce of power, but I figured if Throt comes back, which he just did, we might be okay. So Throt rallies. Taking a charge from these defenders is going to hurt pretty bad, but hopefully he can stabilize and just feast on their souls. And, I think they're immune to psychology as well. It looks like they are. It might be a conditional ITP because of the frenzy, but nonetheless, they're going to be tough to get rid of. But Throt's doing his best, chewing on these bad boys and feasting for the Horned Rat. Now back across the battlefield, the Ogres, as well as the Doom Wheels, do rally, and we finish off the Knights of the Realm. The Trebuchet in the backfield is taken down. The Peasant Bowman also crumbed a little bit. And my Warlock Engineer here doing a great job, being 3v1'd by the Bretonnian characters, but still applying that juicy Mortis engine, really doing quite a bit of work to the enemy army. So I was very, very happy with that. But so essentially at this point, Bretonnia a little bit ahead. I am able to rally a number of forces here, as the Packmaster does attempt to snipe the Damsel of Life. A couple Skaven Slave Spears doing the best they can, but I'm just going to be trying to reroute my forces and gather my troops. And Throt the Unclean just barely wins. He took about 500 damage in that engagement, but now he is going to be moving back across, reuniting with his beloved Packmaster, and hopefully he will be able to cause some disruption. We'll have to see, my friends. So Packmaster pulling back, Doom Wheel rolling in dirty, getting the straight Limp Biscuit action in there. Hopefully we'll be able to get some terror routes. We do have the Pit Fighters of Helm's Deep with only 2 models here. And the Packmaster going to be just drifting around the edge of the formation, trying to get on that Damsel. And look at the Mortis engine from the Warlock Engineer still going off. Even when he's broken, it's still doing some huge work. Overall, though, I wasn't too impressed with his Flensing Rune. The idea didn't seem to work out too well for me, but you know what? You can't have it all. And unfortunately, Thrott's not going to make it back. Bretonnia is going to win the battle here as my Doomwheel and Packmaster just kind of crumble. But it was a fun build. You know, it was an ambitious one, an attempt to try something different because I do know the meta build. And the meta build would have been pretty damn efficient here, for sure. Warp Lightning Cannon with mortars killing the archers and battle pilgrims while you just turtle and spamming summons to, you know, push them back. But I think Skaven rushes can be good. I just think my execution wasn't very nice. I think in that SCM battle, my micro needed to be a little bit better. Like, I think Throt and the Packmaster should have outmuscled these characters. But my micro wasn't as good as Falcon's, and I ended up paying the price. But, you know, look at this. Warlock Engineer with 1,000 value. Pretty okay. Little Wolf Rats. Some of them did okay. But overall, yeah. I don't know. There was definitely some holes in the build. But, yeah, it was still really fun. Hopefully you guys enjoyed that one. Well played to Falcon. This is going to be a 2-for-1. So now we'll be jumping over to another match he and I played, which is going to be, I believe, him on Skaven and me on the Tomb King. So we'll be back in just a second. Rapunzel went apeshit. Look at Henry, 2,000 value there, 1,600. Certainly some very, very good performance from these mighty Bretonnian heroes. And we'll see you guys in a second with round 2. All right, ladies and gentlemen, and now we're back. It's my Tomb Kings versus Falcon Skaven. It's going to be Ark in the Black coming in with a pretty aggressive rush. We got Chariots, we got Horsemen, we got Flying Carrion, as well as a triple Ushapti Greatbow. And Falcon's going to be going in with a very defensive anti-rush build, using your boy Ikit Claw with double, I believe, Mutant Rat Ogre. So really looking to beat down my SEMs. And essentially, if we look at his build on paper, it's designed to use the Globadiers to just mulch in the infantry rush, and to deal with Chariots, he does have the Mutant Rat Ogres plus Ikit Claw and the Assassin. So, like, if I had come in with a Tomb Scorpion build or something like in that light, I feel like I would have been in some serious trouble. Double Mutant Rat Ogres plus the Assassins with Rival Hide Talismans, incredibly scary stuff. But yes, for the Skaven army, going to be Quad Globes, Double Ogre, Ikit Claw coming in with Death Frenzy and Howling Warp Gale, Double Assassin, and a bunch of Skaven Chaff units. Now for my build, it's going to be just cheap Spears and Skeletons, trying to get width around the Skaven army. Honestly, Skeleton Spearmen and Skeleton Swordsmen do trade pretty damn effectively, even with Clan Rat tier infantry, so it's pretty good for you. We got the Skeleton Chariots to try and get into the goodies and the weapons teams, because in this matchup, I'm often expecting Giselles, occasionally a Mortar team as well, so having the Chariots to really penetrate into those Skaven lines is quite strong. Ark in the Black going to be on horseback, as well as triple Ushapti Greatbow. Now, triple Ushapti Greatbow can be a bit of a liability if Skaven come in with like 2 Giselles and a Warp Lightning Cannon, but if they have a build like Falcon's, which is very much designed to deal with like the Chariot Rush and that style of play, the triple Ushapti Greatbow are going to be very, very tough for him to deal with, and honestly could just win me the game if they're able to like snipe Ikit Claw or do some heavy lifting like that. Nonetheless, the Chariots coming around the flanks, the Carrion up in the sky, preparing to ambush. Ark in the Black rotating up from the hill here. And this Skeleton Chariot looking to get in and get some freebies. Poison Wind Globadiers shouldn't do that much damage against Chariots. They do really, really good damage against high model count units. Like Skeletons are a prime target because they're lightly armored and have a ton of models for the poison to tick into. But I don't have to advance on him, which is nice. So here we're going to be using the Ushapti Greatbows. And you can see the massive amount of focus fire here on the Globadiers. They only lose 3 models, but most of their HP does get put in the trash can there, which felt quite good. So we will continue shooting, but he is advancing up. So I'll be advancing my main force here in a moment, while the Chariots are just going to be kind of waiting in the wings, looking to jump on Falcon's Globadiers. And I did see a little bit of a lapse in his formation. He had no mass over here. All his mass was on the other side. So like, it's time to feast, boys. Skaven are back on the menu, as we do jump in here with the Skeleton Chariots and really get a nice hammering on those dudes. Ark in the Black going to be dropping the Skeleton Summon in the front, trying to halt the advance of the Skaven Horde, while my Chariots on the other side just kind of running a distraction, circus, as they do, occupy the Ogres. And now the Ushapti Greatbow is going to be switching on to the Globadiers. Because I know if I kill all the Globadiers, then Falcon will not be able to kill all my infantry, and I can just kind of drown him in a horde of skeletons, basically, which is the idea. Chariot's still getting hammered, though. 7 models. The double Assassins moving and grooving, getting some nice shanking in, so I do lose one of the Chariot pieces, which is a little bit unfortunate here. I do also see Ikit Claw moving into the front line, so this is a good opportunity to focus fire, so I will be attacking with Ark in the Black. And all my Ushapti Greatbow going to be going after the overextending Skaven Lord, which is really pushing super aggressively into my lines here. And look at the damage. I mean, Spirit Leech, Arkin, and, over 3,000 gold worth of firepower going into this one character should be enough. In the backfield, Nakar Horseman doing a great job. I mean, Clan Rats are holding them up. For the most part, these Skeleton Chariots really causing quite a bit of disruption. Gutter Runners are going to be next on the list. And you can see the Skeletons are enduring quite well. Without the Globadiers, they're winning their fights against the Skaven Slaves and really holding against the Clan Rat tier units. And we also do get a really nasty snipe here on your boy Ikit Claw. So Ikit Claw getting hunted down, the Ushapti Greatbow going for the kill. because I know if Ikit does come back, it could be a little bit of a problematic situation. Now, in response to this, Falcon does fall behind in the game. However, he does have a very nice push here in my backfield, as the double mutant rat ogres do jump on top of the Ushabti Great Bows, and I will be falling back with my own Ushabti that aren't in danger. Well, I guess they're all my Ushabti. That doesn't really make sense, but you know what? Nothing makes sense. So Ushabti Great Bow is going to be fanning out in 3 directions. If you guys have ever played an RTS game and you have a back line, or let's say Marines and Marauders being chased by a bunch of Banelings in StarCraft, one of the best recipes to kind of protect those from a backline assault is to split them up, so your opponent can't really compromise as many units with one force. The Horsemen going to be pushing in once again. Ushabti Great Bow focusing down this Mutant Rat Ogre. Ark in the Black going to be potentially dropping another Skeleton Summon here. I can't quite remember, but you can look around the battlefield and see that it's going very well. The Chariots able to hunt down all the Globadiers and will continue to make sure nothing comes back for this Skaven army. And even if I did lose my Ushabti Great Bows, I think I have enough Bone Daddies here that the Skeleton Spearmen and those other troops would be able to do their business here. However, one Rat Ogre here is shaken and stirred. -7 leadership going to be getting charged by Arkin, and that could break him here, which is going to be a very nice catch, because that pretty much is one of the last lifelines here in Falcon's army. And we will be getting our Carrion to chase it off. And that's one of the big things about Carrion. They're very, very fast with 100 speed. They can chase things down, which allows characters like Arkin to do more important tasks. And at that point, Falcon knew it was over and called GG. So really, a lot of that matchup did come down to the builds. Like, my build was a very good counter against his with the triple Great Bows. He didn't really have any of the traditional Skaven weapons teams to shoot back against them. So it forced him to advance into a very tough situation. And when you lose your anti-infantry, the Tomb King's infantry, undead infantry in general are very good against Skaven, but you need to have tools to kill them. And also, Ikit Claw just got gooned, 178 value. So yeah, it was a fun one. 2 very quick games. Both of them were relatively one-sided, so hopefully you guys enjoyed that little change of pace. I know a lot of the games I put are very close, but I think every now and then it's good to show one-sided games so you guys can kind of see, see things that work very, very well. And that's it for now. Hopefully you guys enjoyed this. Well played to Falcon, and we'll be back with more replays soon. Cheers.